All right, hello and welcome back, everyone, here to CEVO Season 4 action. We find ourselves in the second game in a best of three between Team Vas'Avi and Wild. I'm Helium, and joining me again is, of course, Chicago Ted.
Yes, Chicago Ted, loving the Ancient Apparition first band coming out from Wild. Some good stuff, but yeah, so we've got a decent series coming out so far. I mean, Wild haven't shown their full potential just yet. They have shown signs of being the team they can be, but Vas'Avi really took control in the first game and didn't really seem to let it go. So they are the favorites right now going into game two, but I still think Wild have a chance.
Yeah, they definitely have a chance. Great players on the team, no strangers to CEVO. Team Vas'Avi, I maybe would just give them a slight edge. I don't know, they seem to be playing pretty well. But Theory and Andrew Riley on their two teams that they've had throughout the past CEVO seasons have always performed pretty well, so, I mean, don't count them out for sure, as they do pick up that Visage first, so that's going to be that strong support that they, I guess, really need. They didn't seem to do too much, maybe a little too greedy with their picks there in game number one.
Just a bit, and they didn't really make good use of having that Doom in the safe lane. Isn't one of the stronger laners, so I mean, going up against the Slardar was really difficult for him. But yeah, Visage is definitely a more sturdy support pick to have, and overall just a really powerful support to have. So I'm really looking forward to seeing where they work this into the draft. Probably, you know, some of the more popular things I've seen is the Venomancer or the Crystal Maiden, just making that roaming combo really strong. But, I mean, they could also just opt for having it a dual lane and farming up the carry with the Visage.
Yeah, we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if they pick Nature's Prophet with it. It does seem to be a pretty common 1-2 pick even these days.
Or Tinker nowadays.
And yeah, that is true. And we've seen already that Wild does like that hero. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it. But Team Vas'Avi, I mean, they've got an open canvas right now, except for, of course, the 5 heroes that they can't pick. But for the most part, they can do whatever they want. What's it going to be? I don't know. They were pretty much just a space-creating force of nature for that Naga in game number 1.
Who then became a force of nature in and of herself. Yes. That was incredible to watch. I mean, Radiant's Naga is just nothing to scoff at, really, and insane amounts of damage coming out from that hero. Nyx Assassin, though, will be the first pickup from Team Vas'Avi that was banned out last game. They pick it this one, and, you know, it's a great hero to have, and it really makes those makes those global rotations deadly. And now with the IO picked up, it's going to be very troublesome for Wild if they let this get out of hand.
Yeah, Nyx Assassin is actually really popular right now. I think there were some metrics that came out, stats on 6.80, that said he was one of the more popular supports, which isn't entirely fair because he does get played mid, offlane, and support, but it just shows you that he is an extremely popular hero right now.
Well, that brings
IO, not that popular these days, but like you said, can be very terrifying when you've got the Vendetta to set up those ganks for you.
Well, IO, I think it was said best back when IO was in its heyday. IO is a game changer. He really makes you think about the game completely differently than if you were to think about it with most other heroes. So, I mean, definitely bring out an entirely new mindset to this game. But, you know, when you mention Nyx being picked up a lot, it brings to mind all of those Rampage-like Impales that came out. Despite now being a skill shot, it's still really amazing to see how many people these pro Nyxes can land in their Impale.
Yeah, well, I think it just makes the early game harder. Late game, I think a lot of Nyx Assassins were generally ground targeting that Impale anyways, because you were trying to hit multiple people in those big team fights, but yeah, for sure, I would agree with that. And yeah, I'm getting a bit of an echo back on my mic. Are you hearing that, or
no? I'm not hearing it. No.
This is bothering me. Hopefully the stream's okay though. I don't know. Chat doesn't seem too talkative tonight.
Nah, it's a slow night, but it's a good slow night. I mean, it's a Monday coming back from spring break. A lot of people. I mean, it's just a nice, relaxing way to just lay down some good DOTA.
There's actually Ultra this weekend in Miami. Miami is in like shambles downtown. So many people. At a concert 3 days. It's crazy. I get hear it from my apartment. It was kind of cool. But
that's pretty cool.
Dazzle. They could not hear me casting though, unfortunately.
Oh man, you should have broadcasted out to them. Picked up the megaphone and just yelled it to the world.
5 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
maybe one day.
One day,
Maybe when I'm
one day
casting
we're,
in a stadium.
yeah, we're gonna be filling stadiums one day,
time.
man. It's gonna happen.
We'll
Road to
see.
TI-12.
TI-12, yeah. Hopefully there's that many. But yeah, Dazzle gets picked up, so should be pretty good. I think Shadow Weave will heal off of the Visage Birds. Not
You're
that
right
it
the
matters
first time.
too much, but it's just some more damage to think about later on with those
Yep.
ganks of just 2 supports.
And it's definitely going to be troublesome to watch. I mean, if you catch an IO anywhere close to that Shadow Wave, it does so much. We watched the Ancient Apparition last game, to my surprise, get absolutely blown to bits. Because of that low HP and the high damage coming out from Shadow Wave hitting multiple targets, IO will get cleaned up. So definitely a couple things that he'd have to be careful of going into this game.
Sorry, I was polling the chat on whether or not my mic was echoing because it's starting to bother me a little bit. But if no one else hears it, then I don't really care.
I don't hear it. I don't think it's me because I'm on the headphones. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. So am I, of course.
Radiant
But
team,
oh well. I actually don't mind having sort of the in-ear monitor when you cast, but it was nice at LAN ETS being able to like sort of hear yourself. Well, we kind of had to because it was so loud from things going on and weird French shenanigans on the stage. But
Vas'Avi going for Eternal Envy's favorite, the IO Luna combo.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, that move speed, it's pretty nice. Like you can't kill them early game.
Well, one of Luna's biggest problems is getting kited around just because she has such a low attack range, and that movement speed really helps her a lot.
Well, any attack speed coming out from Wisp once Wisp has, or Iox, whatever,
10 seconds.
has the overcharge up. It's just really nice. Attack speed 40, 50, 60, and then 70. So even at level 1, it's an insane boost. I mean, what did Treads give? I'm about to embarrass myself because I don't even know offhand
Don't worry
how
about
much
it.
attack speed they give. I don't know.
I would
Decent
imagine
amount.
it's crap. Now I can't even think about it.
Like 15 or 20 or something like that.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's close to what the Glove of Haste is.
Radiant team.
Yeah, well, either way, attack speed by 40 is quite a bit at any stage in the game. And,
Yeah.
of course, tanks you up, which is another one of Luna's problems. She's pretty squishy. She can get burst down when she doesn't have the BKB. And, well, what a hero to pick when going against the Luna. The Gyrocopter, pretty much that
This is
old carry
classic.
duel from a couple months, maybe even a year ago.
Yeah, this is so classic. Like 6.7 meta coming out right now.
10 seconds.
I don't even remember when it was, but it was
6.78.
6.78. Yeah. I mean, just so much spread out damage. Both are really good pushes, and this was coming back from the day when team fights were clumped up, when heroes were in range of that flak, in range of those bouncing glaives, and you wanted pushers as well as good team fight. And both Luna and Gyrocopter fit the bill as well as PL, I believe. So, I mean, those were the days, man. Those were fun.
Were they? I don't know. Well, at least I understood the meta and could draft appropriately back in those days.
Oh
But
yeah, this meta is all over the place. And speaking of all over the goddamn place, we've got an Axe coming
Axe is
out.
pretty good, though. I mean, we've seen Ush taking him into the mid lane for Snob +4, which that team was just casting the last game for some reason, if any of you tuned into that. That's a reason to get the CEVO ticket, because randomly
Yeah, you
Snob
missed
+4
those
will
kind of
just cast a
things.
game, I guess.
Yeah.
But, oh, I looked at Boots, by the way. It's 30 attack speed, so...
10
That
seconds
makes a lot of
remaining.
sense because it didn't see because Gloves of Haste is what 15.
5
I
seconds
think it's
remaining.
15,
So
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, it definitely gives more than the Gloves of Haste is around what the Glove of Haste is, but it's less than say big attack speed items like Hyperstone. So yeah, I could see it being 30.
And more, potentially, if you switch it to Agility. With those +8 stats, you're going to be getting quite a bit.
It's not
10
too much, I
seconds
don't think.
remaining.
I mean, it could be. I don't know.
5
Axe, though,
seconds
I mean,
remaining.
we can talk about him all day, and I want to talk about him all day. This is a manly hero, and Gyrocopter, what I'm worried about right now is that Gyro is good against, is good when he can sit in his own little corner and deal damage, but Axe likes to get all up in your comfort zone, and I don't think Gyro has any real way to deal with that, especially being a decent hitter, but not a too heavy of a hitter. I mean, he's just going to keep proccing those counter helixes and get bursted
10
down
seconds
way too
remaining.
fast.
Yeah, and Gyrocopter's only answer to most most lockdowns is I gotta get a BKB very, very quickly, but Berserker's Call goes through that 100%. The only redeeming factor is if Gyrocopter, is pretty far ahead of the rest of Team Vas'Avi, Axe goes in for that call. As long as Flat Cannon's activated, won't really matter that much, but we'll see. Axe is known to have some explosive starts in some games, as so is Storm Spirit, and that should be their mid laner, which maybe it's going to be Wisp Axe into the off lane, or Axe Nyx Assassin, or maybe they just put Axe into the jungle, because right now their lanes are looking kind of interesting.
Well, I'm trying to think here, because we can either way, no matter what they do right now, I think they have to put Axe in the jungle unless they want to dual lane up the Axe with, say, the Nyx or the Io. I mean, I could see Io Axe being a thing and put the Nyx as supporting a Luna, but I couldn't really vouch for that being the best idea. But hey, it could definitely work, and I'm excited to see what they decide to run with this.
Yeah, well, we have a Kunkka picked up here, so there's no stuns to really set up anything besides the X mark, so we will have to see if Impulse is going to want to go for, maybe just leaving one in Tidebringer and then getting 2 points in X marks the spot, maybe just leaving one in Torrent and then getting more in Tidebringer, but expect 2 in X marks the spot early, I think. Just the easiest way to set up some kills.
I think even 1 is enough to really get the team fights rolling. 2 definitely sets up the Torrent well into the boat, but that's more of a individual pick-off strat, whereas if you try to go for more damage in that Torrent in that Ghost Ship and then go for the 1 point next marks the spot, you have a lot more overall damage that you can output in these fights.
Yeah, and even the 1 point should be pretty good for bringing the Storm Spirit back, because as far as he zips in that 1.5 second, he'll still be brought back. Actually, just 1. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds. It's the Torrent that gets a little more difficult to hit at 1.6 on the delay. So yeah, you do need 2 points to set it up with the Torrent. Pretty much cast it right away. Pretty easy to do if maybe you're working on your Kunkka play. And there literally is no reason to put 4 points in it. So I don't know. You can start getting stats a little bit earlier if you want.
I'm just checking out these heroes in showcase mode. I don't know.
It's what pauses are literally for. Let's actually just introduce them all through here in showcase mode. On the Dire, it will be Wild. We've got Dazzle. He's starting up here. Going to be played by Footsie. That's how I'm saying it anyways. Timbersaw. That's going to be Andrew Riley. We'll see where he wants to go with that. Probably into the off lane, I would imagine. Maybe he goes safe lane if they want to take this aggressive. It's yet to be seen. Impulse. He's going to be playing up that Kunkka. We've got John Pack on the Visage, and last but not least, we will have Theory here on the Gyrocopter.
All right, to keep it in showcase, I'll go in order here. You following me, cameraman? We got on the Axe. It's going to be Railgun picking up the Io, who's not quite in this game just yet. It's going to be Flying Zebra. Lycus will be on the Storm Spirit with that shit-eating grin. We got the Nyx Assassin being played by Ryanoob, and last but not least, Tubby the Fat on the certainly not fat Luna.
Yes, definitely not. Well maybe that ass. Maybe that ass is, but...
Oh, I was talking about carry potential, but okay.
I'm not. I'm going full
model.
Yeah, and it should be noted that Io always disappears when the game is paused. I don't really know what that's about.
It's fine. Io is not really the hero that you want to see coming.
Yeah. Either way. Okay, I like the changes they made to Showcase where you can actually switch your view off of the top bar now in Showcase, but it's really hard to click around on anything else. And yeah.
I'm exclusively in Showcase mode right now, and it's making things look incredibly epic.
It does look pretty epic. It really surprises you how detailed Dota 2 actually is. The graphics are pretty good, which is nice. But we do see 5-man in the jungle here for Vas'Avi. Of course, they're on their home turf right now. Wild, not really looking to invade, but if they see that Dazzle, then the aggressive tri-lane is going to be revealed. So that's the intel that Vas'Avi is looking to gather right now.
They got it. They saw him. They pinged it out. They also know that he placed the ward right here. They're circling. Oh, that's you circling it. But quite a ward actually. What turn?
It's the clockwork ward. I don't really like it.
I liked our ward better.
I did too, but I guess we shouldn't be bitter about it.
No, we probably even shouldn't talk about it. But
probably not. Too late.
Smoke now catching Ryanoob. They're gonna throw out the shadow of the poison on him, but he will land the two-man impale, and that should be the end of that. I mean, they don't really have any way to chase the tethered up Nyx assassin, who's moving at that plus 70%, 17% movement speed, and that's a pair of boots right there. So.
Yeah, it's not quite 70%. That would be a little ridiculous. It does have Luna moving at, what was that, 386 already? So for her, with her base movement speed so high, that's more than a pair of boots, actually. That's like 2 movement speed more than boots already at level 1. And she's probably going to go Bass or even boots into the Bass right away. So it's going to be very fast and hard to kill as they're going to switch to that duo lane. This is kind of what I expected, that Cloud9, you already pointed it out, that Eternal Envy likes to run this quite a bit.
It's going to be Axe, though, solo up against the offensive tri-lane. And, you know, Axe, you mentioned the Rocket Barrage. That's not something that he can exactly take and sustain without any real problems. And it looks like he's going to go straight for it. He gets gone in. Futsa actually taking a counter Helix. He is down to 1/3 of his HP just from a couple of tower hits and that Helix. So... well, what a way to start this game. Obviously, they're not going to be able to go in without the gyrocopter close by, but they still are not too afraid of him just yet.
Oh, and it is actually going to be a tri-lane the other way. They're going to put Nyx Assassin up here as a support, zoning out with that double damage, trying to keep Andrew Riley at bay. He's managed to hit level 2, and I think that could be enough to pull Footsie and John Pack off the bottom lane. We see Dazzle Visage. They're rotating over towards the mid, maybe looking to get a kill on Lycus on the way over. He's playing pretty far forward as he sort of has to stay on the opposite side of the Tidebringer, as a bit of a mind games going around there, and Impulse will land that. Look at this, though. I think they're spotted out. He got pretty close there.
He's just going to run the other way right now, so I think he knows exactly what's going on. And going under the aegis of his Observer ward just to keep a little bit of vision out. And yeah, he's going to go ahead and play safe for now until he sees those supports show back up onto the bottom lane. In terms of offlaners, though, Axe versus the Timbersaw. I think Timbersaw has a lot more potential to get XP, but also he seems like he could die quite a bit easier. And
Railgun, let's see if he made his sacrifices to the RNG gods. It looks like he's doing pretty well getting these counter helixes.
Oh my god.
We'll live through that. It's got Dazzle down to 3 HP, so we can see it's pretty hard for them. Yeah, 1 HP, which means, did he use Grave? No, he didn't, because he doesn't have it yet. So very, very fortunate there to not give up the first blood 1v3. And I don't know, man, Railgun is getting a lot out of this lane, whereas Andrew Riley is falling about a level behind here.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look at the logs from that one just to see exactly what happened. Yeah, the tower hits, he brings him down to 1 HP.
That's ridiculous.
He had 67, tower does 66. The RNG, the tower did 67 on the damage on the hit before it. So that RNG, what a way to live.
In the top lane, this is going to be the first blood, and it's going to be given to Luna. The support's handed over, nicely played by them. Tubby the Fat picks it up.
And Ryan
gets getting an item for his own kill. Or his own team's kill. That's ridiculous. So he picks up an assist and an item. You can't ask for much more than that.
No, not at all. I mean, was that his team? No, that was his own team's death happening there.
What? No. That was a kill. He got an assist.
What?
Yeah.
I might be. Yep, I'm completely.
Yeah, you're tired. You've been out of the game for a while.
He's on the Nyx.
We'll ignore you for a bit as we head into the mid lane. Impulse narrowly escaping a gank. Maybe not. Lycus with that extra move speed decides not to go in. Looks like Flying Zebra is going to go for just the overcharge tether. Probably looking to put some points in those spirits in a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he's still level 2 right now, so he's looking to try to rotate around the map and get as much XP as possible, as well as give the Luna as much as possible, who is sitting right now at level 4. So getting some good stuff out of this lane. Axe as well at level 4, and the Timbersaw still at level 3. So right now, Vas'Avi are winning in terms of levels, but mid lane, it looks like, nope, that Torrent a bit off the mark, and Lycus should be fine. Yeah, Flying Zebra just hanging around looking for some extra points in that experience. And now Andrew Riley, yep. On the top
could be
lane.
In some trouble. The Impale is going to land. There's no mana burn yet. Ryan Noob does have the Spike Carapace, which will cancel you mid-Timber Chain if you use it, and that's exactly what he does. Luna follows up. They're going to pick up the second kill for himself, for the team, and the game overall. So Tubby's the Fat sitting at 2-0, 25-12 on the last hit denies. Doing very, very well on this Luna.
Yeah, Railgun was looking for a return kill out on Theory, but couldn't quite stand up to that rocket barrage damage. He had to back himself off. Still getting a good chunk of damage, but 4 minutes and 50 seconds is the time on the clock when Luna goes ahead and purchases up her Hand of Midas and a third kill with that Lucent Beam to come down. So Futse hasn't actually in time, and it looks like Flying Zebra, he's going to pop the overcharge, but Tubby decides he doesn't want to go for it. Futse just a little out of time there, and if he had the Shallow Grave, he might have been able to keep him alive, but you mentioned the Spike Carapace in the mid Timber Chain. Yeah, Timbersaw, he needs to play really far back right now because that's going to catch him every single time.
Yeah, it is. It's actually a really good thing to think about. It's just as long as you position yourself in front, pop that Spike Carapace, turn that animation, pretty easy. Maybe you stop animate the chain or something, but then you're going to be taking so much damage anyway because you have stopped running. It's pretty tough for Andrew Riley to play that lane. It's a lane that's very good at dealing with him too. Just there's so much there. The tether, the extra move speed, the tether. It's not quite a stun anymore, so I guess it won't cancel your Timber Chain, but if it catches you before you've chained or something, you're going to be sitting still for at least a brief period of time.
Yeah, and on a hero that focuses so much on being able to survive situations like that, it really
Mid
really
lane
puts a
Impulse
cork
is in
in his
some
stock.
trouble.
What?
The spirits are up here. Kunkka, the boat goes out, going to apply that buff. Might even get a kill in the process. Wisp going to be the first one to die here on the side of Vas'Avi. Lycus looks like he's going to be the second here. More than likely, yeah, X marks the spot. They've got him locked down. They will hand the kill over to Impulse, so he gets one of those. Prior to that, Dazzle kill the IO. So Footsie puts him on the board. Impulse gets him a little bit closer to Equilibrium.
Yeah, I mean, great plays by him. He picks up his phase boots as a result of that kill, so not too bad for him. Andrew Riley is just hanging the trees right now. He's staying. What?
Did you see that?
See what?
He like got the call, but Gyrocopter just straight up ran away after the Berserker call landed. That was really weird.
Oh, I was looking at the top lane where Andrew Riley was staying in the trees and making HY.
Stay in the trees! Yeah. That's how you win games.
I mean, yeah, I guess some things that could be wrong is you might have a little bit of latency that you didn't quite see, but Ryan Noob is actually going to miss the Impale, but I don't think it's going to make much of a difference as that Lucent Beam does so much damage. Actually, Andrew Riley comes in, gets stunned up by the Spike Carapace anyway, and Luna will get away alive, still has a Hand of Midas, 800 gold on top of the Helm of the Iron Will.
Impulse is going to go down.
Yeah, that he was way out of position for that one.
I think he was making a run for the top rune, racing for it. Storm Spirit picked it up, and then they sort of chased him, and he was just running in any direction. Wisp came in, extra move speed to Lycus, extra mana regen with Wisp bottle hits, bottle of Storm Spirits himself, and then enough mana for a Zip Zap. And then we find ourselves with the dead Kunkka. It's 5-2 here at 7 minutes 40 seconds. They're going to go on John back in the top lane. Visage impaled to land. And Eclipse, why not? Tubby the Fat, make a kill streak, 5-0 Midas, and he's looking for that Helm of the Dominator to be finished up whenever he wants to buy it.
I guess the one redeeming factor right now is that the Axe still hasn't gotten the kill on the bottom lane, but he will not go down. Overall, Wild isn't doing too hot again in this early game stage, and Vas'Avi just showing why they've got the early game locked down so much. I mean, their offensive tri-lane has performed magnificently. I mean, your offensive tri-lane works to get your carry kills, and that's exactly what they've done. I mean, this Luna has 5 kills, about to be 6 right now if Riley isn't able to get away. A premature Spike Carapace will not block up any sort of Timber Chain, and now the rotation in from Futse. Can they go ahead and get Ryan Noob? He will start running away, but that movement speed rapidly coming back. Andrew Riley is going to have to get himself out of there, but the Impale does connect. Now Futse will take a fall unstoppable on the Luna at 9 minutes. 8-2 right now. Luna 6-0-1. What a dominant performance so far.
Yeah, pretty much. And good job by the supports early to make sure that they were giving Luna these kills. It's really playing a part in just how much money she has, able to pick up that Midas so early. Now Helm of the Dominator, so she's pretty tanky with that, 14 armor? Can I do math? Yeah, 14 armor. About not that much HP, but whatever, effective HP and armor. It works out. She's also got that lifesteal for some sustainability, and it's going to be hard for Wild to do anything. Gyrocopter in the bottom lane, 41-14 in the CS. He's doing pretty well. He's trailing the Luna. She's got 56. She also has 6 kills. She's actually double Theory's net worth right now on this Gyro. Now she gets her treads, and when she switches those over to strength, she's probably sitting near 900, so she's getting pretty tanky for just 10 minutes into this game.
Yep, and now Rhino, he's going to put down the Sentry Ward, and they will find him pulled, but there is a Shallow Grave ready, so they don't end up going on it. And now, actually, that X marks the spot will bring him back. The boat does come in. It doesn't connect, though, just on the tail end of the Zip Zap there. Ball Lightning getting Lycus out of there and alive. And meanwhile, it looks like Gyrocopter died. I think you caught that.
I did catch it. That my watchful eye as I sit here. That's the benefit right there of bouncing off play-by-play as casters. Just gives me extra time. Every time you take it over, I just Hawkeye on the minimap. Nice. It's good strategy.
Oh, this top tier 1, meanwhile, is taking a lot of damage. They're barely getting the defense off, but Tubby the Fat isn't done. He pops the Eclipse. And Andrew Riley was not prepared. They call the GG.
Dang, second use, second kill. Don't get much better than that.
That's just a sign that you know how much that Luna did. And Vas'Avi, I mean, not as, well, actually more convincing than game 1, to be perfectly honest. They take the game 2 and the series overall.
Yeah, very fast series as well. I would assume that PlayCEVO-1 is still going on. Probably not this dominant of a performance from either of those teams.
They definitely are going on. We've been casting for an hour.
Yes, yeah, exactly. It hasn't been very long, so make sure to check out that. I believe it's ever improved tonight. Great casters if you watched Natalic Leagues past with them. I think they also worked for another organization I'm going to forget the name of. NLGS, that sounds right. I think they did NLGS back in the day around the time of TI2, so check it out. That's PlayCEVO1. You can also give us a follow here on Twitch at PlayCEVO2. On Twitter, you can find me, Helium, at HeliumBrella, and Chicago Ted, where can they find you?
Yep, you can head over to Twitter and follow me at TedCasts.
That'd be great. And of course, this Luna deserves a follow. 7 and 0 right now at Tubby the Fat. Go ahead and give him a follow. That's it for us tonight. Make sure to check out that CEVO-Main Season 4 ticket as the postseason is approaching here in 2 weeks. The regular season ends. Maybe like a week or two break to figure out the seeding and whatnot. We'll maybe do some show matches in between that time, or just some fun time playing with the viewers, playing with these players that you see in the game and whatnot. But either way, it's it for us tonight. Any final words?
Yep, it's been a pleasure casting for you guys, but it looks like we are off for the night. So, as it stands right now, we'll just catch you all next time.
Peace.
Yeah.